Alright, good morning everybody. Welcome back to another freestyle game dev live stream. My name is Kevin. We do this twice a week. This works like office hours. So, the whole point of this is an AMA Q&A about game dev, Unreal Engine, blueprints, visual scripting, all those kinds of things. And if there are no questions, I usually will spend the time just streaming me stumbling through, working towards my own working prototype. But questions are the priority. So whatever I'm doing, feel free to interrupt me and ask a question. I took a look through the Discord server, didn't see any new questions this week, and I didn't see any in the comments. So we're going to be hopping right back into kind of where we left off with the prototype. Why do we do this? I actually get to learn a lot from you all, and I also get to learn a lot from other disciplines as we stumble through these various aspects of gameplay. I work currently as a tech artist at Riot Games and R&D, get to do a lot of really cool stuff. There's a lot of really cool stuff that I don't get to do, and this is a chance for me to learn a lot about other disciplines and things like that. So with that, let's go ahead and hop into Unreal. Make sure we are actually streaming, which is good. All right. Also, Discord server should now be pinned in the description for all the streams at this point. And for those of you that are on Twitch, I will have to find that link later. All right, so where we left off was we had just gotten it so that we could cycle our targeting. So if we play the weapon melee has an error. I don't know what that error is. Oh. I guess the error matters because nobody has their swords. Hold up a second. This looks like a plugin didn't load. Why is that all capped? Weapon melee. B weapon melee. Bad cast node. Something did not load properly with our plugins, I believe. So we're gonna run this again. That's super weird. It could be that the plugin order is bad. As a result of that, it can't find the cast to our AI. Which is something that I wasn't planning on fixing soon because everything was working. But we'll take a look and see when we relaunch if that is still a problem. Okay. Duplicate asset ID. I'm getting all these errors over here. Top down arena maps. Duplicate asset ID. Interesting. Take a look at our plugins. Our AI controller is here. Okay, let's try again. Shoot. I don't know why this is happening. Get the controller. This cast should be cast to H to Z. Interesting. This works. All right, let's do this. Let's take a look. This is why I like Perforce. So we are going to reconnect to Perforce. This is fun. Okay, and then let's see what this used to be set to. And we're gonna do that just by diffing with the depot. You can see there's a difference in the event graph. So if we click on that, see this, look at this. This is our cast for our controller, which is in our plugin. And for some reason, this is saying it's a bad cast node. That is the only thing. It's like it's not even showing up. Where does this thing live? Okay. We are going to do one more restart. Like nothing has changed. There's got to be something about our plugin load order. How are there 7,000 errors in this thing? Holy smokes. Okay, that worked. That's not going to be a fun one to figure out, but eventually we're going to have to figure that out. Okay, anyways, we're back on track. So what we had done is we had changed it so that if we press the caps lock key, it will change our targets. And when we do that, we also change the amount of times they will actually block. So they only have a 50% chance of blocking, which is still pretty high, I think. It makes them feel pretty darn tough. But we're going to connect that to probably something to do with their level or smarts. But what I was thinking that we could do was we were running into that tech debt bloat last time around the way our weapons were set up. So if we take a look at our GA sword combo, we go to this. Okay, so we have the great sword combo. What we're going to do is we're going to try to condense this down to one blueprint. That's the goal for today. Okay, so this is the sword combo. Now let's take a look at the regular sword. That's the great sword combo. Let's take a look at the regular sword combo. Okay, when we look at both of these, generally speaking, they both start off, they broadcast their message and they do a cast. So this starts off, it does all of its stuff, it broadcasts its message, etc. And then this is checking to see if the ground distance, oh interesting, this is for in-air attacks. The sword combo does the same thing. Okay. This is not connected, so we can clean this up just to make life easier. Okay, so these are fairly similar. And then, excuse me, we're checking to see if we need movement. We're doing our commit velocity. That's the same. We're getting our scale level based on our combo scale mult. That's interesting. And here we are doing the same, but we do have an AOE finish in here, which we don't have in the sword. It's okay, that's nothing that we can't accommodate. And then we set our movement. In this one we determine our combo phase. Oh, here we do the same thing here. Then we stop our movement, we ignore our input, we play our montage, we wait. We do all of this is the same. Has authority, compares the teams. Compares the teams. And this one applies a gameplay effect and then also does a sword hit. This one tries to activate abilities. Stun. And the reason we do the stun oh, we do the stun. Oh, interesting. Basically, if the character we're attacking is parrying, we're going to stun them. That's an interesting way to do that. I don't know if we want to do that way, but that's the way it's done right now, so we'll just roll with that. And then we do our sword hit. Okay, so pretty much this is the same. Check for movement. All right, so what I want to do, I think the great sword combo is the best one to use. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to this and we are going to duplicate this. And we're going to call this GA melee base. Melee combo base. Okay, so we have a melee combo base now, and we are going to move this up and out of here. So let's move this into, interesting, we don't have an abilities folder. Let's create a shared folder. I don't like the word shared, but we'll use shared. Oh, we already have a shared folder. What's in our shared folder? Melee targeting actor. Okay, we already have a shared folder. So let's go and move that over. So we're gonna move that there. And then we're going to take our great sword. This is where, you know what? I think we should check everything in first. This is kind of a big change. We have a lot of stuff pending. I mean, we have a lot of stuff pending. Okay, we're going to check all this stuff in first. And the reason we're going to check all of this stuff in first is because we're in a reasonable state right now. We can keep all of our C++. This is all of our camera detached stuff too. Double tap, target lock. Yeah, I think we want to check all this stuff in. Let's just check all this stuff in. These are all of our dodges. What did we change in the ability system component? What we added is ability active. Okay. Let's submit all this. This is, oh my gosh, there's a lot of stuff. This is combos, this is camera detaches, this is pre-combo, cookie cutter, check in, submit this. This is targeting, this also has targeting selection. This is kind of the big thing. Okay, great. So now we have a checkpoint to get back to, just in case. Yeah, these are all checked in now. Okay, cool. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our greatsword. We're going to take this combo, and we are going to reparent this blueprint. Reparent blueprint. And we're going to reparent this to melee combo base. GA melee combo base. Okay, now you'll notice when we did that, a bunch of stuff changed. Oh, this is going to be scary, but we're going to try this. Okay, what we're going to do, all of this should now be in our melee combo base. So what we're going to do, we're going to take all of this, we're going to delete it. Delete this. Gonna delete all of this. Delete that. This is AOE damage. We'll delete this as well. Okay, so we have successfully cleaned everything out of here. Now, right now this is not going to work yet. We're going to delete all of these variables too. Okay, compile. Now, let's add in a call to our parent function. Do that here too. All right. Now, theoretically, if we did this right, we should be able to still do our greatsword combo. We can. So that simple thing has gotten us down to our greatsword combo being as so. Now, here's the trick. We need to kind of fix this, make this a little bit more variabilized. So we want all of these to be, we don't need that. Damage scale level. Montages. AOE Finish. Okay, hold on a second. We check that out. When we come back to our sword. Interesting. Usually there's a thing to show the inherited variables, but maybe it's just in the class default. Yeah, here's our AOE Finish. It's just over here. Montages. Check. Okay, cool. So we can edit these things. Now, if we... Interesting, hold on a second. AOE Finish. Okay, so basically what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to set this up so that it can be used by multiple abilities. To do that, we're going to need to be able to set like the sequence of things that happen. So play an animation, do an AOE Finish, cause a stun. We're going to need the ability to do all this flexibly so we can reuse it. This AOE Finish is not what I thought it was. It is setting an AOE Finish if the combo phase is 2. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I'm going to take this out. I don't want this to be instance editable. That is more of an internal tracking, for example. Interesting. I still see it here. That's part of the class defaults. Oh, well, it's part of our class defaults. We can make this private. That'll do it. There we go, it's gone. Okay, so that AOE finish is different than what we want. Now we need to add the ability to be able to specify the order of the thing. So we already got the montages. I'm thinking we're gonna need a table here, but let's get into it. Let's get into it as we get into the sword, because the sword combo has this in-air launch. Does the melee combo? Yes. Combo base has that too, that's fine. What else does it have? Okay, we're gonna need to change that. Okay, I think just like the sword, we're going to be able to delete all of this. Let's do it. Movement reset. Determine the combo phase. Play montage and wait. Okay. Here we go. Delete. We can just delete it. We don't even need the calls to the parent functions right now. Check this out. Okay. So now what we're going to do is double check that that works still. It does not. Interesting enough, the great sword still works. Oh, I know why. Sword combo we did not reparent. We just deleted everything. Whoops. File. Reparent blueprint to melee combo base. And then we don't need any of these variables. Compile and save that. Okay, so what's happening is right off the bat, we're doing the power attacks with the regular sword. So this is what I was talking about as far as we need to update this stuff. So if we look at our class defaults, this is our montage to play. And here is montages. I believe we want these to be our sword montages, which locomotion, sword. Here's our sword combos. So let's do this. For our sword combo, we're going to do sword combo 1, sword combo 2, sword combo 3. There we go. So now we're playing the sword combos appropriately. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then if we switch to the great sword, 1, 2. Now, I don't know for this sword if we want there to be an AOE on the end of it. I think we just want it to be a quick attack. So let's go back and figure out how we make that happen. So compile and save. And our base combo AOE, we have a Boolean AOE finish, but I think we should change this. I think we should change this to be Boolean AOE status. And then let's create a new boolean, a new variable. And this is gonna be boolean. AOE. I don't think this is the way we want to do this either. Where's the AOE happen? I think what we want to do is we want to set it up so that we can have a table. There could be an AOE after any single point. Who's to say it's always at the end? So we're going to have to change this a little bit to accommodate so we play the montage and then we wait for a gameplay event, and then we might do AOE damage. So each oh, interesting. You could argue we basically need to know whether or not each phase has AOE damage, which we don't have a concept of right now. It's a pretty quiet morning this morning. Where's everybody at? Okay, so if each phase of this could happen, what we could do instead of montages, what we could do is we could convert this, rather than being just the montages, we could convert this to, for example, a struct or a map of things that could happen. That's one thing we could do. We could also create another array that matches that array, but that would be messy because then we're gonna have to maintain and manage both of those. Also, this AOE damage, what kind of... Wow, this is going to be fun to make modular. All right, so let's do this. We are going to create... I think we're going to create a struct. So, combo base. Browse. All right, so let's create a struct. Somehow there are hearts showing up in the chat, but I don't see anybody here. Good morning, Gray Liar. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a struct, because we're trying to make this more robust. We could also try a data table. You know what? Let's just create a data table. Oh, wait. Oh, no. We're not going to use a data table. We need a struct first. Structure. Okay, and this is going to be Do we want it as specific? For right now, let's just call it melee combo parts. Do we like the word parts? I don't really like the word parts. Melee combo ingredients. Sure. And also this should be just put struct. Okay, and then what we're going to do is this is going to get a couple of different things. We need the montage. So it's going to be montage. And this is going to be a montage. Animation montage. I think we want it to be class reference. And then this one is going to be, so if you play in a montage, there's a couple things we need. Every single phase of a combo, whether there's 1 or 10, is going to have a couple key things. A montage to play. Let's call it the gameplay effect. Gameplay. No. Why'd you do that? This is going to be our gameplay effect. Let's call it GE damage effect. And we're going to have a AOE damage. And what else do we need? So we have the montage we're playing, the damage effect, the AOE damage, whether it uses AOE damage, velocity, AOE status, damage scale is based on the combo scale mult that comes from the pawn. Player montage, that's going to actually change as well because that's going to come from, eventually that's going to come from the weapon, I think. Then we have melee hit, AOE damage, we're checking our teams, stun, let's do that, let's add that in here. This is going to be B causes stun, no, stun susceptible. Hold on a second. If I go to attack, that's interesting. I don't think we need this. Let's just do, it's not going to cause stun. It's going to be stun. We'll call it stun immune because I think that's going to be easier. These need to be booleans for sure. And this last one needs to be a gameplay effect. Let's try this. Okay, so those are melee combo ingredients. So let's just say that that's enough for the purpose of the demo. Or not the demo, the stream. Let's just see. Gray Liar, did you have any questions this morning? I don't know. Basically, this works like an AMA, like a Q&A. So basically, questions are the priority. So if you have any questions about Unreal or game dev or anything like that, I will stop whatever I'm doing to try to help you stumble through those questions instead. Same thing for everybody on Twitch. Questions, just as a reminder, questions take priority. If there aren't any, I keep stumbling. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to use this struct. Let's create combo ingredients, and we're going to make this our struct. Okay. So if this works, in our great sword combo, under our class defaults, we should have combo ingredients, which we do now. Okay, so let's see if we can swap this to use our ingredients. In the montage. Okay, so that doesn't work because it's using the class reference. So we need to update our struct. This needs to be a montage. Let's try a soft object reference. Path to an instance object of the element which may not be loaded. Can we do this instead? Did we just crash? I think we just crashed it. Yay, crashed. I did not like changing the name of our struct while we were still working on the struct. So I guess the first rule of structs is not to change the name of struct. Or the class reference. Fortunately, I think our build times are way better than they used to be. What kind of game stuff are you working on this morning, Grey Liar? Wow, that's taking a little bit longer than it usually does. Also, there we go. All right, getting back into it. We may have to do this one more time because I'm trying to decide if that should be actually an animation montage reference or just a class reference. I think we may want to make it just a straight up reference. But we also need to figure out what we lost. See if we actually saved our struct. You know what? Let's just go ahead and make this just a straight up. Okay, it is a soft reference. Let's just make it a montage. Animation montage object reference. And the gameplay effect, we're going to do the same thing. Gameplay effect. The reason I'm thinking about this is somewhere in the back of my mind, I am thinking that these are going to create actual hard references that have to be loaded, and I'm gonna have to do some research on what the rules are on that. But here we are with our combo ingredients, and we're going to fill in sword combo 01. And then the damage that we want. Oh wait, what am I doing? Trash. This is in the base. We don't want to do this in base. And we can actually clear this. Okay. Whoops. Alright, so now in our greatsword, this is where we want to make the chain. These are the animations. Then in our great sword combo, here we're going to be doing our stuff. So the montage is going to be this one. Oh, interesting. It doesn't have the gameplay effect listed there. Why is that? There's a gameplay effect. What is... What's our cost? Ability triggers. Oh, that's because our gameplay effect is in here. Apply gameplay effect to target. Oh, that is a class. That does need to be a class reference. Shoot. Does that mean that we're going to crash again? Let's find out. Gameplay effect. Save. Combo base. Should be fine. Compile. Save. Great sword. And then down here. Here we go. Damage, great sword. Okay, so now we have combo 1. We have a great sword damage. Okay, now we need combo 2. And it's also going to get the same damage. And then combo 3 is the one, the whole point of this is oh man, this is gonna be cool if this works. The whole point of this is combo 3 is going to get same stuff, except it is going to do AOE damage. Now, each of these montages, this is where we need to change this. So we don't need this montage. We should not need these montages anymore. I'm just gonna blow those away. Scary. Okay, so then we got our ingredients, that's fine. Here's our combo base. I do not believe we need these montages, but first, before we get rid of them, let's find out where they're being used. So we're gonna find all our references. It's only being used in one place, right here. So what we're going to do, rather than that, is we are going to get our combo ingredients, and we're going to we should just be able to get, and then can we break this? We can. Okay. So, all right. The montage, we're going to determine a phase. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing this get. Now, this is potentially a problem because what's going to happen is if we don't have enough combo ingredients to match the combo phases, we'll probably need to do a check in here later, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Wait, what did I just delete? Okay, cool. And then look at this. This is cool. If we're no longer going to do this if anymore, we're just going to skip straight to it because we are going to not be doing AOE based on the damage. We're just going to be doing it based on whether or not the AOE is part of our ingredient list. So we don't have to do this weird check anymore. So this is already kind of more efficient, which is great. And then theoretically, in this case, we need to make sure our great sword combo, it has 3 parts. Now, if we were to try to run our regular sword combo, it would freak out. But let's just start with the great sword and see if this works. No errors, that's a start. So first things first, 1 attack. That doesn't count. That always happens. So 1 attack, 2 attacks, and damage. Oh, look at that, there's AOE damage at the end. Almost like we're starting to understand Unreal, people. Okay, so here we go. On our greatsword combo, if we really want to test that this is working, we could put AOE damage after each phase. Let's see what happens there. That's kind of cool. Data driven. All right, so that's cool. Well, we don't want AOE damage in each phase. We just want AOE in the first phase. Incidentally, it's worth noting that I'm setting this up to be more efficient with melee stuff. I think we may want, I think this is why we might want more of a modular based system like the adaptability system, which we have not yet evaluated. But for now, this is going to save us a bunch of time. So now we just pick our combos, and then depending, we have that. Now I believe we no longer even need this montage to play. Oh, no, we do. But this should be private, is what it should be. So that way we don't see it here. Cool. Gameplay effect control handle struct. Also don't need to see that. We can make that private. Just trying to clean this up. Damage scale. Yeah, I think that's private too. I think a lot of these are private. Character controller. Is that even showing up? No. Okay, so we have so many things we don't need. Commit velocity. Montages should be private. Or should go away, actually. Gameplay tag we'll have to work on. Hold on a second. So we're just cleaning this up. So commit velocity, that is private. Montage should not even be used anymore. It is not. So we can actually wait. Before we do that, let's fix our sword, because we're going to have to fix our sword as well. So here's our great sword. This is our sword, and here's our sword combo. And we need 3 combo ingredients, and each of our ingredients is going to get guess that didn't work. Okay. So we can compile. And we can save. And then we can go back to our base. We can delete these montages. Alright, gameplay tag. What is this used for? Yeah, this is, okay, so this is misleading. This is our AOE gameplay tag, which we may decide to change, but this should definitely be private. We don't need to show this. Okay, so our sword combo now is down to, we don't need the impulse normal. We're just cleaning up. Where's the impulse normal? Private. We don't need the, where's the AOE we want. Gameplay effect context handle struct. We definitely don't want that. It's not something we need to be looking at every time. Alright, we're getting cleaner. Here's our combo ingredients. That's pretty straightforward. We have evade activated. We don't need that one either. This is just... We should group these and categorize these. for sure. You definitely want to do that, because this is just knowing which of these things that we add that we want individual designers to be able to change and stuff like that would be a great example of why we want to clean that. So the radius, the AOE combo ingredients, and then there's a bunch of Lyra normal stuff, advanced, cooldown gameplay, and ability triggers. Okay, this is cool. Now, if we go back to our base, one of the things I wanted to look at is what this radius is used for. So if we find our references, it is used for the AOE finale, and it is also used for the damage. Okay, so let's take this. What is this used for? This isn't even used. Find references. That one is used. Okay. File and save that great sword. Interesting. This radius is a little nondescript. We need to be a little bit more descriptive with this. So for this radius, let's call this AOE radius. And we can compile that. Now, actually, here, let's do this. Let's take this a step further, and let's add that to our ingredients. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Okay, this will be cool. This is why we're doing this. Double checking, no questions. Cool. What were we doing? We were going to take this AOE radius, and we were going to make this private, so you can't see it. And then we're going to go to our struct, and we're going to add a variable. And this is going to be the AOE radius. We're going to make that a float. Okay. And then if we go back to our combo base, what we want to do is up here where we're getting this right here, we want to use this to set our AOE radius here. I'm just going to get this off of kind of the initialize for this ability. Now we've got that, and we don't even have to worry about the radius in our greatsword combo. It's not even there. We just have ingredients, and the radius can be let's default this to 100. Oh, interesting, it doesn't have a default. Oh, default values. Let's go 300 as our default. Now when we look at our combo base, compile and save, our greatsword combo, these are all defaulted to 300. So we could go 100, 200, 500, for example. But it doesn't matter because these first two aren't going to get used. I'm going to make this 100, just a little bit more generic. Compile and save. Compile and save. Okay, so right now our radius for our sword combo is 500. So theoretically, if we go with the power sword, if I'm within 5 meters of this character, so that's each of these boxes is a meter. 1, 2, 3. This should hit. Oh wait, hold on. That was the right click. 1, 2, 1, 2, That hits. Now let's try changing that radius to be 100 and go to the same spot, and it shouldn't hit. One, two, three. So 1, 2. Does not hit. Perfect. So the radius is totally working. Excellent. I think we were at 400. Okay, so we have successfully genericized, if that's even a word. I don't even know if that's a word. Made this a lot more generic. So our combos are now made up of ingredients that we can set. So we're not having to change all this stuff in so many different places. Now, what we need to do is we need to do the same thing for our sword combo, which is weird. Our sword combo, why does it have all this stuff here? Interesting. There was a lot of extra stuff there. I don't know why. Okay, well, we've got it all here. And with our regular sword, we don't use any of these things. We don't use any of the AOEs or nothing. So when we play our regular sword, we should just have... Yep. It just worked. Cool. So we have now successfully set it up so that we can much more easily update and change this stuff with our combos. So if I want to add another phase, I can. There is one interesting problem with this. So let's take a look at this combo base. Here, when we determine the combo phase, from our controlled pawn, we do need some kind of communication with that. Let's go back. I'll show you what I'm talking about, but we're not going to get to it today. Shooter combo. No, shooter mannequin. We got distracted. Mannequin. All right, so here's our shooter mannequin. Okay. So when we determine our combo phase, let's see here. Here's our combo phase. We find our references. So this determines the combo phase. This is no longer going to work. Okay, this assumes, and this is not data driven, if you will. This is hard coded. What needs to happen here is the weapon should probably inform the phases that it has available. In this particular case, the actual animation itself is not being used, but the combo phase is being triggered, and then there's a damage scale mult that's also being applied. All of this could get pulled into the weapon itself, or even our ingredients. So we could add the scaling multiplier. We could put it all in there, and then this would get reduced down to literally just incrementing the combo phase. And then we would have a reset that the ability could do, for example. But we're going to need to change this. Basically, this entire switch on int can all go away. All of this stuff could go away, and it would just be a lot more, it would be a lot cleaner overall. So that's kind of what we need to do next. I think, is basically pull a lot of those smarts into here by removing the smarts from here, which sounds kind of funny. So with that, let's go ahead and do a wrap up for today. Went all right, a little bit slow, but we kind of needed to do that. We kind of needed to get our stuff cleaned up because we were building up a lot of tech debt, having to update multiple blueprints all over the place. So now anytime we do any melee combo, there's one blueprint, we can give it some ingredients, and we're going to have to get a little bit tricky with, as our combos vary, like how many branches and stuff we have within those. But this is a fun little start, or fun little example of consolidating our blueprints to be a little bit more data driven, as opposed to bunches of copies of the same thing, and why we use the inheritance the way we do. So that's that. For everybody who is hanging out, Grey Lyre, thanks for hopping in. Remember, the whole point of these is to help you all out with your questions about Unreal and game dev and virtual production, visual scripting, all those kinds of things. So don't hesitate to ask. As a reminder, there are no streams next week. Sunday and Wednesday I'm off to try to finish getting all the channel separation and stuff like that done. But if you check the schedule, as soon as we're done here, I will post the live stream for the following Sunday. I hope everybody has an amazing weekend. For everybody who is hanging out in the wings, not hopping in the chat and stuff, and anybody who's watching after the fact, thanks for checking this out. My name's Kevin. See you in the next stream. Take it easy.